Minute session today of your 7 Marketing Basics inspiration, your marketing inspiration. We're going to look at what to do, what to avoid when you're doing an online event for your sales reps, your team, your prospects, your customers. And I'm going to go over some of those key things right now in the next 7 or so minutes. Plus, if this is a topic that you are all about, join me on Tuesday, coming up next Tuesday on the 19th, along with Mike Heaney and Mark Risby. And we're going to get into some specifics, and you'll have a takeaway, kind of cheat sheet takeaway you'll be able to do as well. I'll put the link in the comments below for that. All right. So, the top things that you need to nail when you are doing an online event or training for whether it's sales reps, your team, your prospects, your customers. First thing to note is, and this just sounds so basic, but preparation is super important. And here's why: people have a lower tolerance for things just going sideways online. They're going to start looking over at another screen, get up, make a coffee, whatever the thing is. And so the prep has got to be nailed so that they're getting what they need out of it right away. So while that just sounds like super basic, do the prep, gonna just put that one out there because it is super crucial. All right. Now, secondly, um, around the prep, really around the whole event, ask your key prospects, your key reps, whomever you're working with, your salespeople, what they need, what should be covered in this. Engage with those folks early on in the process. So if you've got some people on your team or some salespeople you work with or somebody like that, some key customers, talk with them 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in advance and be sure that what's happening really serves them. Right? Because so many times we'll see, especially in a little bit bigger company, we'll see a group of people take off and start to do things that they think's really crucial, but it doesn't actually serve what the end customer needs, what the salespeople need, and that kind of thing. And some of these comments I'm really taking from my prep for the upcoming event, and were comments from Mike and Mark on what they think is super important. So I'm sharing some of their thoughts along with that today. So ask your audience and sort of your people on your team, what does everybody need? Like what do you need? Don't talk about a topic over here that just isn't like totally crucial to your end customer, your end user, the person that you want to be on the event, right? So ask what people need. Next thing to think about is goals. Like, what do you want to achieve from this? So, is the thing that you want to have is a ton of people there, or do you want to have a lot of engagement? Do you want to have people taking the next steps? What is the goal? Because that's going to affect how you measure your success, what you do, and how you put it all together. So, just decide, hey, what do I want to have happen? What's the best next step? What's the best outcome from this event? What do we hope happens next? Yeah. And then also, what's your next step? So after somebody comes, what are you going to do? Are you going to call them? Do you have someone you work with who's going to make those calls? Are you sending out a free trial? Like, what's the actual next thing that's going to happen? This shouldn't be an island of an event. If you're doing a training for your reps, customers, prospects, whomever, it shouldn't be an island. It needs to, you got to have the whole picture there. And so, what's going to be the plan for the next step? Yeah. So, meeting, demo, trial, group session, whatever the thing is. And then another point to think about is that simple is generally better. So these are things that you need to nail if you're putting it all together. And when I talk about simple is better, a thing to consider too is that online is not necessarily a solution for everyone. It's great because if you've got people all over the world or all over the country, whatever, and you want to get folks together, yes, super handy for that. But be sure to make a space for one-on-one meetings as well, because a nice simple event with a space for one-on-one meetings afterward or separately is really could be the good combination for that. Hey, Fallon, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Bob. Hi, hi. And Matthew, good to see you. I know you're doing some of these as well. All right. So, just to recap on the things you need to nail, and then I'm going to hit a few things to avoid, and then we'll be out. All right. So, prep is key. Ask yourself and ask your prospects, your reps, your clients, your dealers, your salespeople what is really needed. Think about your goals. What goals do you have for the event? What do you want to achieve? What's the actual next step that you're going to take after this event? Like, shouldn't be a silo, and keep it simple. Online isn't for everything, but keeping it simple in any case is the way to go. So, now just a few things to avoid as well. So, maybe don't try to meet with everybody all at once. So if you've got a different group of people and they have different needs, or maybe they're in the same territory and are competitors, think about not trying to meet with them all at once. So you might have like a group session where you go over some details, but then set up those one-on-ones, do maybe a separate technical call or separate detail call with smaller groups or one-on-ones with people. So that's something to think about. Another thing is we all go to these sessions and meetings, and we might find ourselves almost forced into a room, a breakout room, a group that maybe we don't really want to go to, or we might even feel like we need to be in three or four places at once. And that's not functional. That just doesn't work for people. So what happens with that? And Mark and Mike and I were talking about this last week. What happens when those things are forced upon the attendees is we start working on our other email and have stuff going on the second screen. So don't do that. Avoid that forced breakout room feeling. Avoid that feeling of being in a space with competitors and don't have time to talk, and just make it so people can freely move where they want to and get the info that they need. So those are a couple things to avoid. Oh my gosh, there's so much more. Join me next Tuesday for some more details, and I hope this information is helpful for you on your next live event. All right, see you soon. Bye.